This image! I have not, why?
Yeah, I see him eat all the time.
He's like,
what am I talking about?
All the time!
Dondero.
I'm a hot mess. Okay.
This is a test of our friendship.
Don't be scared. Just let it slide in.
Oh my god. Oh, what? What happened? What? What happened? What? We have an
is that an outdoor kitchen?
That is an outdoor kitchen.
Hello.
Hi, chef. Why did they give me a camera and a microphone?
Too funny. Because they don't know your name is at Nurmamos.
Exposing the trauma. It's like a fan dance. Just like peeking one little trauma at a time.
Roogs. Come on. I didn't want to keep my snake to myself. I wanted to share. And of course, if Roogs wins when the lights
Me
go
and
off.
Shep could right now on the stream, and it's still less awkward than that.
Go Roogs!
So, in conclusion, that story...
Am I the only one turned on by all this?
I'm Roogs. Welcome to my channel.
Can hear.
Image! I have not, why?
Yeah, I see him eat all the time.
He's like,
what am I talking about?
All the time!
Dondero.
I'm a hot mess. Okay.
This is a test of our friendship.
Don't be scared. Just let it slide in.
Oh my god. Oh, what? What happened? What? What happened? What? We have an
is that an outdoor kitchen?
That is an outdoor kitchen.
Hello.
Hi, chef. Why did they give me a camera and a microphone?
Too funny. Because they don't know your name is at Nurmamos.
Exposing the trauma. It's like a fan dance. Just like peeking one little trauma at a time.
Roogs. Come on. I didn't want to keep my snake to myself. I wanted to share. And of course, if Roogs wins when the lights
Me
go
and
off.
Shep could right now on the stream, and it's still less awkward than that.
Go Roogs!
So, in conclusion, that story...
Am I the only one turned on by all this?
I'm Roogs. Welcome to my channel.
Can hear.
Image! I have not, why?
Yeah, I see him eat all the time.
He's like,
what am I talking about?
All the time!
Dondero.
I'm a hot mess. Okay.
This is a test of our friendship.
Don't be scared. Just let it slide in.
Oh my god. Oh, what? What happened? What? What happened? What? We have an
is that an outdoor kitchen?
That is an outdoor kitchen.
Hello.
Hi, chef. Why did they give me a camera and a microphone?
Too funny. Because they don't know your name is at Nurmamos.
Exposing the trauma. It's like a fan dance. Just like peeking one little trauma at a time.
Roogs. Come on. I didn't want to keep my snake to myself. I wanted to share. And of course, if Roogs wins when the lights
I was hoping to catch that on stream. I totally did not. Damn it. I didn't. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Waking Up. I literally, Pep and I both, we were irresponsible adults last night, and we gamed with GTA with some Tainted J, and that's a lot. It was a lot of fun. So
I may have been irresponsible, but totally worth it.
yeah. Just
Yeah,
stopping by to say, hope
totally
you're doing. We won't be able to stick around. Okay, we'll have fun, Paragon. Hello, Paragon.
Glad you stopped by to join us for a little bit.
I am exhausted. I am burning the candle at both ends. I am very glad for the day off tomorrow.
Yes, it is a holiday tomorrow.
Yes, I am very glad that I have a group traveling. They are in New York, and everything has, knock on wood, gone smoothly so far.
Yeah, so far.
Yeah, so I'm like, what? All right. I feel like my anxiety levels are lowered just a little bit.
All right, that's good.
All right.
So, yep.
You know what we didn't do last week? We didn't do our disclaimer. All right. And there's a reason. There's a reason that the disclaimer is very important, especially with this show, because we talk a lot of mental health, and so it is really important that we do the disclaimer, because one, we don't want to get sued, and two,
Don't cancel us.
Yeah, don't cancel us. I'd be fine. I'm just because I like to do things by the book. You know me.
I'm sorry, what?
I know, shut up. Here on Waking Up, we are not here to bash or put down anybody's religious beliefs. This is our own belief system. He muted himself. Why did you mute yourself? Why would you do that?
So I don't end up, blurting something out and interrupting you. I didn't know that you could when I mute my microphone, though.
Your lights go off.
It does.
Oh my god. I can't with you. Okay, we're not here now to put anybody.
And this is why I muted myself.
But see, as my ADD, because my meds have not kicked in, now I'm like, what? Why are you doing? Okay, I hate you. We're not here to put down anybody's religious beliefs. We think that faith and religion are beautiful things when done in a mentally and emotionally healthy manner. We grew up in the Southern Baptist Church, that which is a very strict evangelical Protestant faith, and we grew up in Billy Graham country, so it's very different for us. Our experiences differ from a lot of, or vary from a lot of people, and they're similar to a lot of people. So that this is our experiences. This is also us healing. We are not licensed professionals. We are not licensed therapists, life coaches, counselors. None of that. We are not that. We are two people who are working through our traumas, and not just our trauma, but just our mental health in general. And this is our show where we talk, focus in a lot on our religious trauma, but it isn't only about our religious trauma. We do talk about a lot of different things on our show. And but if you do need professional help, we do have resources that can help you get in touch with a professional to help get you the help that you truly need. It's at Nerd Mom Ace on all the socials. We have a Discord. I'm on all, you can DM me at Nerd Mom Ace, and we can get you the help that you absolutely need. That was pretty much it. Short and sweet.
Do you want me to put the Discord into the chat?
Yeah, because eventually I'll get my touch portal. I downloaded my touch portal on my new computer, so now we're one step closer to actually having my touch portal back. I know, right? And I found this fun little plug-in that makes my touch portal pad look like a Star Trek pad. I'm so excited about that.
God, that is fantastic.
I can have a Star Trek panel. I'm so excited. Oh, the nerd in me loves that so much.
Full speed ahead.
I know.
Make it so.
Okay, so here is what we're talking about. Actually, Pep and I, we both literally just rolled out of bed. We're like, oh, we need a topic. And
Mhm.
Pep had like this list and these things, and he's like very specific, but it's very Pep natured. And I do it too, to a certain extent, but not nearly as bad as he does. And tonight's topic is figuring it out. Figuring it out. Why is it?
There's a reason I am not giving the intro here because I don't know the intro until now. Now I know the intro.
And do you see his
Figuring-
reaction? Do you see his reaction? Because he knows
Uh.
that this is a big topic for him.
It's fine. It's fine. I'm not
Why
worried
is
at all.
it so important? Why is it so important? And because we were talking through what are the different topics. Like, why he was being very specific and very like it was very detailed. And I was
Mhm.
like,
It's like I was going to write a paper.
it was like, why are you trying to force this? Like he's like, usually our best shows are ones that are just sort of off the cuff. I mean, we do have shows that we have that aren't for like they're very specific, like our Christmas episodes or whatever.
Mhm.
But why is it so important? And I am making fun of Pep only because it was just what he was just trying to do, and it's something that we talk about all the time. But I do it as well. Like I do
Mhm.
do it as well, and it's something that I actually am working through with my professionals. I'm just gonna say instead of my therapist, my professionals, because I've just got a myriad of them. I've got I got a
do. You
team.
have-
I have a
you have
fucking
people.
I have mental
You
health
have a team. That wow, you were at that place. You had
I
a team.
am at that place where I have a team of people
Nice.
that I see every week.
You that are helping you
They are.
grow and achieve.
So why is it so important that we figure it out, that we have to have everything figured out? Our lives, our careers, and this is actually
5-year plans.
5-year plans. This is actually a topic that has come up not specifically not directly with some of my other friends, but like why they are giving this impression that they have to have their life figured out. Like
Mhm.
I am X years old. I have to have it figured out. I have to have my next year figured out. I have to have my next 5 years figured out. I have to have that 5-year plan. I have to have that 10-year plan. I have to know where my life is going. I have to know where I'm going. I have to know where my relationship is leading to. I have to know where this friendship is going. I have to know where, why is it so important to us? And this is why. I don't understand why we feel, you and I both, and a lot of people feel like we have to have our lives fucking figured out. Everything that we do in our lives fucking figured out. What is and how we look down upon those people who do just go, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna just do this
Yes.
for a year. Fuck it. I'm gonna go, you know what? And they're like, why? And you ask them why, and you're like, I don't know. I just am. I just want to. Why is it so? Because that is absolutely something having to do with and I get that there are those people that, that's our personality, but I just don't think that is our personality. And I think that with a lot of my friends, knowing what I know of some of my friends, I don't think it's their personality either. I think that is just very much a trained response, a trained
It is.
thought pattern.
Yeah.
And that's
I completely agree. Yeah, there's a friend of mine that grew up spent some of her early years in a different country, and when I got to know her, she was very much not the 9 to 5 person. She's not the I gotta have everything figured out. She's the I'm gonna go travel through Europe, and I'm gonna figure it out as I go. I'm gonna hitchhike. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna I'm gonna go where I want, and that freaks me out. The idea of that. She was like, "Yeah, well, why don't you come? Come do this." What? Like, I'm afraid of that, and I envy it at the same time.
oh yeah,
'Cause I'm
absolutely.
like, because I feel like there's I'm a 9 to 5 guy. That's the thing. I'm one of those 9 to 5 behind a desk, earning my paycheck, and the idea of not doing that, of not knowing, freaks me out.
You find comfort in that.
I find comfort in the consistency and I find safety in it. The sad part is in today's world, there really isn't safety in it,
Mm-hmm.
but it's what I'm used to. There's safety. It's the safety is in what I'm used to. I'm used to working like a 9 to 5 kind of job, and having that structure. That's where I find safety in.
But I like yesterday we had a meeting and
Mhm.
I was like I couldn't like usually I run the meetings, right? But I was like
Yeah.
Pep I needed and you knew this. I was like I need somebody else to do it. And
Mhm.
I threw sorry, my daughter just texted me. Okay. All right. It's not anything massive. So I think it was like when I said, "Hey, Pep run the meeting," and you just
Uh, uh,
but okay. It's not like you
uh,
haven't run a meeting before, but because it was last minute and you just okay,
uh-huh.
well, I'm gonna use your agenda. I'm gonna use
Uh-huh.
like you like there's
I
like
froze.
right. The where it makes me uncomfortable, where I do like to have things sort of figured out, you have to have
Mhm.
you have to know like 24 hours in advance to like wrap your brain around it and plan.
Yes. Yes. I have to plan contingencies. I have to plan out everything that is going to happen, might happen, every topic.
Right.
Yeah. That's where I go.
Why? Why do you think that is?
Um I think it was how I grew up. That's because that's what like that's how my that's like what my dad is very much like that. Everything's planned and structured. And I think my mom's very much like that too. They all know what they're gonna do, where they're gonna
I'm
do,
listening.
even when they go on
Keep talking.
even when they go on vacation. That's what's funny. Even when they go on vacation, it is very structured. We're gonna go to this place on this day at this time, and we know everything that's gonna happen. And oh, as opposed to just going and enjoying. So I feel the need to have all of that planned out, and I think I need to have it planned out so that I can to avoid looking bad. I think that's where because if I don't have it all planned out, I find that I don't think on my feet as well as I wish I did. And so if I don't have it all planned out and I haven't prepared for it, I'm going to stumble all over it and I'm going to look stupid. And I don't want to look stupid.
Why are you afraid of making a mistake?
Ah, well,
Oh,
this is why I like to pick the topics.
everybody, I want you. Did you see that look?
Did you feel the sphincter pucker?
Did you like what? Why? What? That was that
Why
look
you
was
come-
like.
why you coming at me this
coming
morning?
at me this morning?
I didn't get a lot of sleep either.
I know. That's why I'm like.
Why? Why don't I? Why do I?
Why are you so afraid
have
of
a problem
looking stupid? And who says you look stupid?
Me.
Why do you tell yourself you
I'm
look
the- I'm
stupid?
Because someone in my past told me that, and I took that on. Somewhere in my childhood,
Who's the voice in your head?
it'd be my inner child probably. Yeah, it'd be my inner child.
Your inner child says that.
Yeah.
Do you? I
Yeah,
don't know
no,
about
don't-
you, Sean. Like, does like okay, when I have trauma thoughts like that, like when I have trained trauma thoughts, is I like I like to talk to them about one, especially when I'm like journaling and stuff. My trained trauma thoughts are stuff like I'm gonna look stupid. You're gonna look stupid. You look fat. You are stupid. Like those belief systems that have been told to us over and over and over again that we start to believe
Yes.
that aren't true, which is what I like. That's why I like to call they've been trained thoughts that become our belief systems. And we've talked about this on this show before, is because Belief systems are things that have been told to you, or you tell yourself over and over and over again that you come to believe them as true when they're not true. So, like, I don't know about you, but my trained trauma thoughts are usually the voice in my head. Yes, they're my voice, but you know how there's like that underlying, like in shows where it's like simultaneous like voices over each other, like they're speaking at the same time. There's always that second voice. There's the voice that planted that thought in there. There's that person.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's like, okay, this is me telling myself this, but there's a voice. There's somebody's voice
Yeah.
in my head telling me this, or making me
There's
like reinforcing that belief.
is that voice the loudest, or is the problem that they're not the loudest, in that they're the one that just sits there and just kind of says it or keeps saying it? And even though they may not be speaking the loudest in that group of voices, they're the voice that comes through.
Yeah. It's like, it's almost like the devil on your shoulder. You know how it's like you see in the TV shows where somebody's controlling the other person and they're like parroting it out. So it's like that person is speaking, but it's my voice, but you can sort of hear both, you know?
Yeah, that's the part of me that says you're gonna look stupid. So if we, that's the with the IFS, the part of me, and that in therapy, that's what whenever I talk about the part, because I've always called them parts for a long time, for as far as I remember. It's a part of me.
Yeah.
And so my therapist will go, well, how do you feel about that part? Like, oh
yeah,
that's a tough one.
my new therapist,
Yeah.
we're doing some CBT work, CBT work, and IFS work, and yeah, like
Yeah. So IFS is what? Internal Family Systems? I think is what it's stand for?
yes.
Yeah, it's for anyone that doesn't know, it's where you everything is kind of a part, and you deal with those parts. So there's a part of me that's saying you're gonna look stupid. And so you think of that part as that's a separate piece of who you are that's telling you something, and so you kind of deal with it. How do you feel about that part? How loud of a voice does that part have? Like, what does it look like? You really start to personify that part, and it makes it easier to deal with, and to understand. And so, yeah, that's how I picture that part. That part is the part. They're not big and loud. You're not. Oh my God, you're gonna look stupid. No, they're the part that's kind of sitting off to the side, going, "You're gonna look stupid." Yeah, you're gonna look stupid.
What's funny is I can see that with you. I can see somebody sitting on the couch in like your internal family system, sitting there going,
You sure you want to do that?
yeah.
You sure?
Mhm.
I mean, is that what you want to do? Are you sure?
And who is that though? There is somebody that is like that in your life though. Like there is somebody, like if you really stop and think, not that you have to do that right now, but like you really think about it, there's always that person, like these parts of you is modeled after somebody.
Yeah.
Right. I actually had to do
I don't
that.
know.
My
Yeah.
anxious part this week, I was like way overwhelmed. I had a lot of things and I was spiraling. It's a very big spiral this week. And so when I finally got to my life coaching session and my therapy session, both of them were like, oh, okay, boo boo. Like I was at like crisis. I was on the edge of crisis mode. And so like, yeah, it was one of those, there's that part of me that's like, I gotta, like, I'm not, like, I gotta do everything. And
You got to fix everything. You got to
fix
spin all the
everything.
plates.
Yeah. And my therapist said that. She was like, you've got so many plates spinning right now. You don't have to spin that many plates. It's okay.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Yes, I do. Yeah, exactly.
Yes, I do.
It's like, and so it was like, so I had to, my assignment this week is I have to purposely, when I have to ask that part, I have to talk to that part like I am a manager and a supervisor. I have to ask that part of myself, do you have the energy to take that on? before you say yes to anything, do you have the energy and the emotional capacity? Where are you at? Like if I were at like actual like a work professional supervisor and I was
Mm-hmm.
getting ready to ask somebody to do something, this is the question at a good supervisor now, mind you. But like,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
do you have the space to do that? Do you have the time, the energy to do that? Or is this
Mm-hmm.
something, can you take this on? Do you want to take this on? Like those questions. And I have to treat myself, that part of myself that feels that I have to run at 100% all the time and be perfect all the time
Yeah.
and can't say
Uh-huh.
no. And I have to take on everything. I have to treat that part. And I was like, okay. Like that part is very loud in my head. She's very chaotic because she does take on everything and feels like she has to run it 100%. Yeah. And
Mm-hmm.
it's not that, but it's like that's a part of where I have to feel like I have to figure it out. I have to feel I have to figure it out because if I don't have it figured out, then for me, I'm failing people. It's not so much as I'm
Yes.
going to look stupid. For me, that feeling is I have to have it figured out and I have to do it at 100%. Not only do I have to have it,
Mm-hmm.
but I have to do it at full capacity, and I have to be able to do everything at full capacity 100% and do it
Yes.
well, or I am
Mm-hmm.
failing. I have failed someone, and it's that shame.
Yeah.
I talked about that
Mm-hmm.
shame this week, and that's a huge part of it. It's not the fear of looking stupid. It is the fear of failing and feeling that shame of failure, that I am as slacking if I'm not doing 100%. I am failing somebody if somebody asks me a question or we have to, and I haven't have it all figured out. Where's
Mm-hmm.
your life going to be in 6 months? The fuck if I know? I don't fucking, and that's actually what I'm wrestling with the new year. Is so many people are like, this is what I want to do in 2024. I have somebody talking about what they're doing in 2025. I'm like, fuck, I don't know what I'm doing next week. I'm just surviving through the 24 hours that I've got right now. Like I don't have it, and I feel that sense of failure. I feel that sense of I don't know. And when they ask me, I don't know. Like last year it was easy. I had some
Mm-hmm.
major plot points in my life that I'm like, okay, I need to get here. I need to do this. I need to get here. But it's not so black and white this year in 2024. And I feel like I don't have a direction, that I'm aimless. And if I feel aimless, I feel like I am not of any value or of any worth. Like I am just, I just don't.
And do you look around at other people and like and it looks like everybody else has it figured out? Like
Yeah.
everybody else knows what they're
Yes.
doing and where they're going.
They
and
have
you're
these
like,
goals and these
yeah.
ambitions.
It
and
seems like everybody else has it together except.
New year, new me. I'm going to work out more. Even that, I don't even know. I'm like, I want to work out, but I'm exhausted. I physically can't. I can barely function as a human on a normal day-to-day life, and now I'm going to add that on top of it.
Yeah.
I'm going to eat healthier. I'm lucky if I fucking eat. And my
Eat-
coping mechanism is overeating. So I'm over here going, eat healthier. I either don't eat or I overeat. So I just would like to eat in a healthy and in a normal
Somewhere in
manner.
the middle. Mm-hmm.
I don't care what it is. I cannot live on caffeine and meds alone.
Mm-mm.
I mean, I lose weight that way, but it's not necessarily healthy for me.
Aroogs.
I'm not going to lie on this channel. I'm not going to lie
I
on this
know,
show.
I know. But that's exactly how you feel.
I also said it wasn't healthy.
Yeah, you did.
Don't come. See, okay, fine. All right, fair. You know what? I'll let you have that one since I came after you. It's okay.
The whole 5 year, what are you doing in 5 years? That one has always haunted me because I've always, especially being I've been in the corporate world for 20 years, and that is such a big deal in the corporate world. Where and when they bring in people to talk to you, to motivate the organization, they send you videos on LinkedIn, that training videos that you have to watch, and there's so many of them that are all about knowing where you're going and having a plan and figuring all that stuff out. I feel like I'm the only one sitting there going, I don't know. I don't have all of this locked in. Oh, I need to go from this position to that position to that position. And that's what success looks like. That's the thing that they don't always tell you outright. They don't always tell me outright, is if you don't, you're not going to be successful. it's all tied to success, and it's all tied to what they're telling you success looks like. Success looks like that next promotion. Where's that next promotion coming from?
Mhm.
What's that next move? Where's your next move? Working harder, doing more, getting paid more. That's what success looks like. So if you're not doing that, if you don't have that laid out, then what are you doing with your life? That's what I get in the corporate world all the time.
Oh yeah.
And it's hard to step back and go, my success, that's not what my success looks like. Going for that, like I keep getting asked, well, when are you going to be a manager? When are you going to when are you going to get a promotion? When are you going to, I don't want to do that. I that's not what I want for my life. And is that,
And what's funny is my dad. He's a delivery driver for Papa John's. He has been for actually several decades now. I mean, and he's been with the company for almost 30 years. And he has been a manager before. He has been a supervisor before. So it's not like he hasn't had those managerial positions and these larger positions. Good morning, Calvino.
hey, Calvino.
But I remember being when he first did just said, I'm going to be a delivery driver, full time and whatever. And he really does. He's really good at his job. He's very well respected in the company. So, I mean, cause he has been there for 30 years, but I remember thinking, what you were a manager? Why are you settling for being this?
Ooh.
But
Yeah.
he enjoys it. And I did ask him that one time. He's like, I enjoy it. It's frustrating at times, like any other job, but I enjoy it. I make good money. I mean, he is very well respected. He gets paid really well for what he does. He does. You wouldn't think so, but because he's been with the company long, he was able to negotiate all that. But I mean,
Yeah.
it also allowed him when he did start getting sick, hit the flexibility. So, I mean, but he's like, I enjoy what I do. I enjoy it. I like it. I meet a lot of people. And I think that I've been asked that question too. Like when I was a secretary and I did something like, you don't want to just be a secretary.
You
don't want to do, you don't want to do that all your life, right? But I think that it struck me wrong in that because I enjoyed, even though I didn't make a lot of money, I enjoyed that job. I really did. I really did. I enjoyed that job. Every time I was a school secretary, I enjoyed that job. I worked hard in that job every day because I enjoyed it. But it was like, but because of my job title, even though I was like, the moment I left, people were, they were still trying to get me back. I mean, but I enjoyed it. And why is it so important to want to have to, I have a lot of people, it's like, I'm X number of years, so I need to be doing this. Like, for example, I'm 41. I need to have my life figured out. What are you doing? You video game. What do you do for you game? Like you're 41. Shouldn't you be, you're a 40-year-old woman. Shouldn't you be doing something more with your life?
There's the expectations.
That expectation.
That people put on you.
Yeah. Shouldn't you act more grown up? What is a grown up?
You mean hate my life? Is that what?
Yeah, like what is a grown up? Like what is that?
Doing things I don't enjoy. Yeah.
Like the marriage thing. Oh, you have to be married for your marriage has to look a certain way. Why the fuck? If you want to be married, but you each have different, like you each are polyamorous and you're dating other people, that's what a marriage looks like. As long as you're communicating happy and healthy, you can be monogamous and totally have a healthy, you can be non-traditional where the dad stays at home and the wife works. As long as that is something that y'all are communicating,
it's completely customizable.
You can be 40 and not married and travel the world if that is your choice. As long as you're taking care of yourself.
But that's not what we're told. That's not what society tells us. That's not what our friends and family tells us. A lot of this is put onto us by like
You and everybody else, Calvino. You and
yeah,
everybody else.
that's a shared.
That is a shared goal in life.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I was getting
Um,
bed head from getting head in bed.
There you go. Mhm.
Sorry, I didn't mean to. Sorry.
It's
I
fine.
told you my ADD.
I mean, that was
my
worth
my
it. That was worth it.
caffeine in it. But I was actually thinking this when you're talking about the corporate world when they ask you what's your 5-year plan or whatever.
Mhm.
What if I know this is my therapist. These are my therapy talking.
Yeah.
What if we responded with, why is my 5-year plan so important to you?
Yeah. That's a great response.
What is your 5-year plan? Why is my 5-year plan so important to you?
But I'm trying to look out for you. I want to make sure they are making it their responsibility. Your life has become their responsibility.
Well, we want to see if your goals line up with our goals. So
Mhm.
it would make me less of an employee if my goal were just for
Yeah.
today, I'm going to do the best job that I can.
Yeah.
Well,
Mhm.
no, we would just want to make sure that you're pushing toward a goal. Why?
Yeah.
Challenging that question, especially when
Mhm.
you're in it, like you're in the and you know why? Our performance reviews. Fuck performance. Like
That's it.
performance reviews
Yes.
are important. They are important.
Mhm.
I am not, and as a manager and as somebody who has managed people and has been a supervisor, they are important and they are helpful because it opens up
Mhm.
that dialogue of here's what you're doing well. And if you're doing it, if you have a good supervisor, they're going over like, this is what you're doing really well. Here's
Mhm.
where here's some of the things that you've been lacking this year. And it's different from year to year. Okay, like last year, I'm a very different person and employee last year than I am this year because I'm in a different place in my life. I'm in a different headspace. I'm
Yeah.
a totally different person. But having that dialogue of, okay, here's where the things that you need to improve. Is this something that is going to be a consistent thing? Is this something that I can help you improve upon? Some things that we need to make
Mhm.
adjustments on, or here's just here are the things that I need you to work on.
Yeah.
But it's setting those things. But it's that pressure to have your career figured out and your life figured, and that trickles down into like the minor things, like making sure you have the right topic for a fucking podcast that like
It
goes on
does. Or for
Sunday
your meeting.
or for your
Uh-huh.
meeting and having the
This
right
meeting could have
thing
been a
to
PowerPoint.
say, or like it could have been an email. Like, like why is it so important for us?
Yeah, I think it comes down to that voice, that part of us that's going, you'll look stupid, or people won't respect you, or there's always that negative, that part of us, that part of me that's speaking negatively about what that means. If I don't have it all figured out, if I don't have the perfect things to say, the topic, if I don't run the meeting well, this means I am less valuable as a person, less valuable as an individual. Um, and that people won't like me, people, won't respect me, people won't it's that negative self-talk that gets in my head, and it just keeps repeating over and over again. That's part of the problem, is that voice. That's why I said the voice doesn't have to be loud. The voice is just consistent.
And insistent.
Insistent, yes. Absolutely. And that's where it really gets you, because it's not just that one thing you hear, it's that repeated, you're gonna look stupid, no one's gonna respect you, no one's gonna care, you're not important, over and over again. Yeah. So in therapy, whenever I bring that up, he immediately, we go into talking about that. Okay, so tell me about it. Describe it. What would you say to that person? That's when he loves. He's like, okay, so you've been in the corporate world for a while. So let's say you're in a meeting, and all of those parts are sitting around the table.
Because I'm switching gears in my treatment.
Uh-huh.
My new therapist, she did that. She goes, so what would you say to that person, that party? I was like, I paused and I was like,
Uh-huh.
actually, both my life coach and my therapist said that this week. They're like, so let's take a minute and what would you say to that person?
Yeah.
Bitch, I don't need you to tell me that I have skills that I already know that I need to be using. I don't need you. I don't need either. I literally was like, I don't need either one of you to be right tonight.
Funny how that works. Completely separate therapy sessions.
Same fucking
What would you
thing.
say to that part? Same thing, yeah. So what'd you say to that part?
Listen, Linda's. I need you to.
I think we've all been in meetings where one person has just absolutely monopolized the meeting, and we're all sitting there going, "Just stop, please stop."
Just stop talking. Stop asking the question. Oh, and that person.
All right, I know we're a few minutes over, but does anyone else have anything else to talk about? You better put your hand down. Not you. Like that's what I'm saying.
No. I was being that person. I was like, and they're always like this. Yes, I do. Yes, hold on, I do. Can this be a fucking email? Can that be any?
Someone keeps taking my creamer out of the fridge, and I want.
Or this one, just for clarification, before we go, just so that I'm sure. Oh, that one. I just triggered you.
God.
Just so that we're sure. Just so that I'm sure.
Yeah, I just want to clarify. Yeah, so it's what I will go to is like when that voice won't stop is like I appreciate what you're saying. I understand what you're saying and why you're saying it. But that's not the direction we're going. That's not helping right now.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's kind of like the reparenting of the inner child, but more in like corporate speak almost. Because that's where I'm not a parent. So like that's where I struggle a bit with the reparenting is I'm not a parent. So like how would you talk to your child? I don't know. But you talk about you're in a meeting, you're in a meeting. Okay, I got you. All right, so here's what we're gonna do here. Here's the direction we're gonna go. That's my life.
It's the same concept though. It's just using something that you know.
That I'm familiar with. Exactly.
That you are familiar with, which is helpful. I mean, and that's where therapy is customizable in that, and it should be customizable. Talking to you about being a parent when you're not a parent is very difficult for you because the only parent example that you know of is your parents, and that's what you're trying to undo. Yes, but for me, I am a parent, and I am trying to break. So I know how I would react as a parent, which is different than my parents. So I can grasp onto that concept of reparenting way easier than you can, and that's okay. It's still the same result. It is still the same process.
Yeah.
It is just a different face, and that's okay. And that's okay.
Yeah, there's several different types of therapy, several different ways, several different types of skill sets.
Yeah.
And it's all about which one works best for me, for you, for the individual, and then taking that and applying it because that's really which one you use isn't as important as
using it
that you apply it. That
just
I
use
apply
it. Just fucking use it.
Use it.
Just use it. And that's the thing.
Yeah.
It's,
And like
it's figuring it out. Which one? Why is using the same skill, but you have to? It's just using it. Pep.
Like anything, it's practice.
So
Yeah.
Tell me about the time that your therapist told you to do something that you were bad at, so that you could get used to it.
That has been
And then
calling me out.
And then I when
Uh-huh.
you're over here and asking you to run the meeting and asking you for a topic, isn't it the same skill? Not being afraid of doing something that you're bad at? Isn't that
I'm not bad at running meetings, depending on the type of meeting. But it's the anxiety. Why did I feel so anxious? Why when you were like, "Hey, can you do it?" And I'm
all
like,
of it all of it boils down to what? What does it all boil down to? Because it all boils down to the same thing.
the same thing. Like, why did it bother me, or why did I struggle with it?
Why do you
Is that
struggle
what you're
with
getting
being
at?
bad at something? Why do you have to have everything figured out? Why do you have to know the right things to say? It all boils down to what?
Self-worth, value,
And looking stupid.
and looking stupid. Yeah. Well, I'm afraid to look stupid because I tie that to my value, to my worth. So it's like if I look bad, then I'm not as valuable as a person. If I do a bad job, I'm not as valuable as a person.
So your therapist asked you to practice a skill.
Yeah. Yes, my therapist did. My therapist. It was my homework for the last couple weeks has been do something you suck at. Because I don't do things because I suck at them. And
So
because
why
I suck
is
at
it
them,
important for you to have everything figured out?
you were yesterday's meeting, you were just trying to give me an opportunity to practice my skills.
I was being a good friend. No, I was not in a good headspace to run that meeting.
Mm, yeah. So yeah, it's that was my do something you suck at. And what's funny, the first thing that we were talking about this, the first thing that came to mind when thinking about things that I suck at, I hate the game Pictionary. If you were to say, "Hey, let's play Pictionary," I would go into this. I would have like practically an anxiety attack because I can't draw. I don't draw. Like stick figures are the best I got for the most part.
Fun fact.
Uh-huh.
In high school, I drew an entire stick figure marching band.
See, that actually sounds kind of cool.
But it wasn't like this huge thing. It was literally a stick figure.
Yeah.
And I was very proud of it. What's wrong with stick figures?
I know. See, that's the thing.
Stick figures are a popular meme, Pep.
See, that's what I told myself when I decided when I realized, okay, I suck at drawing. That's why I hate Pictionaries, because I suck at drawing, and then blah blah blah. I'm gonna look stupid. I was like, okay, that's the first thing I'm gonna do. And I was like, all I can do is stick figures. And I was like, and I thought back to these are older videos, but there are some absolutely hilarious videos of stick figure fights destroying computers, where their stick figures are fighting all across the screen and they're decimating, blowing holes. And I'm like, those are hilarious. There are some fantastic stick figure drawings and videos. And I was like, there's nothing wrong with stick figures. It's what I can do. What I can do is what I can do, and there's nothing wrong with that. My value isn't dependent upon how well I draw, or what it looks like. So, oh my god, yeah, Calvino, it's so fun. I am terrified of looking stupid when I draw in front of people. So that was my first thing. Do something I suck at. I started drawing. And I've got pages. I've got a couple pages of drawings. Little small pages of drawings. Just I found some stuff that was like Pictionary prompts, and I just started drawing. And I was like, "Hey, Rouge, you want to look at him?" She's like, "No, I don't need to see him. It's not about me. It's about you."
I love how that stood out for you, because it did hit you. It like because usually I'm there as his support system, but he was like, "Hey, do you want to look at him?" I'm like, "No." I was very quick on to say no, and he's like,
Yeah.
and he asked me, he's like, "Why not?" I was like, "Because it's not about me. It's not." And I said, "And I am not going to give you the validation you need that you are doing a good job or that you're doing what you needed to do." And that hit you, like you were like,
Dead.
"Oh, you're right." I was like, "Yeah, this is your journey, and you need to find your own validation."
Yeah. So, Calvino, that's a see. Calvino says that's the best part.
Everyone
Looks dumb, and we all have a good time. See, that's the thing. That last part though, when people are laughing about the drawings, like, oh my god, that's a silly drawing, or oh, that's just because it's terrible doesn't mean there's anything wrong with the person that drew it. But that's not what I internalize. When I draw something that looks terrible, when I do a terrible drawing, I don't laugh because, oh my god, this is so funny. I internalize, they're not laughing with me, they're laughing at me. They're laughing because I suck at drawing, and they're like embarrassed for me. That's the inner monologue that happens. That's the voice in my head. So
That's a very real dialogue. That's a very real, like voice. Is oh, this sucks. Yeah, and that's true. But I think that's where your need to have everything figured out and done well, and that is very different than mine, because even though it is the same act, it is the same process, our feelings about it are very different. Because I was taught, because I was a teacher, I was trained to be a teacher. When you taught, you were just like, you sort of fell into it, like, oh, I need a job, here it is. But for me, I was trained, and I always wanted to be a teacher from when I was young. Shocker. Like, that's, we won't even go into the people pleasers being having career choices that help people. Like, we're not even going that today. But I've always wanted to be a teacher. Because the best influences in my life were educators. The people that were safe and secure and that were good influence were educators. So I wanted to be an educator. I wanted to be that positive influence in somebody else's life. So I wanted to, but the biggest lesson that was taught to me was, don't be afraid to look like an idiot. Don't be afraid to be silly. Like, especially with like elementary school kids, don't be afraid to be silly. Don't be afraid to go out of that just reading the textbook or just giving the information. Don't be afraid to do that. Even though it makes you uncomfortable, don't be afraid, which is why I think streaming came easy to me, which is why it was one of those, I'll teach, I'll say whatever it is, I'll do this thing, I'll try this silly thing if it's going to relay my information that I need you to get across. So it's not so much for me as looking stupid, because I'm not afraid of looking stupid. I am absolutely not afraid of looking stupid. Like, I will fall on my face and be like, get up and just take a bow. Like, but it's the shame of, like, I have to have it figured out so that I am prepared for that I don't fail. It's not about how I look. It's like, if I don't get that information across, if I don't have my life figured out, then it's one of those, and I am failing. Which again goes back to your self-worth. It's very similar. It's that core of it, but it goes a very different route to get to the same place. Sure. I don't want to fail, because if I fail, then what? If I fail, then what good am I?
Yes.
If I fail, if I don't have everything figured out, and that also comes from me being a parentified child, and the fact that I had to have everything figured out because that was the expectation at home, because I had to take care of everybody else.
I got it. Ooh.
Calvino. God.
Calvino was...
Calvino is like, I would, okay, boo-boo. Our inner dialogue, you can beat them up all you want. They just gonna come back with a vengeance, because joke's on you. Our inner dialogues have already been beat up by other people, and so are we.
They're a lot more resilient than we want them to be.
It's like that kinetic energy. The more you beat them up, the stronger they become. So it's like, we tried that, Kelby. We actually have to learn to love our inner dialogue.
See that? Yeah. See, that's how you do it. You don't overcome the inner dialogue by beating it up. You overcome it by loving it.
And that, do you remember when your therapist first brought that up? Do you remember? Like, I don't know if yours brought it up. They have been. Oh, that's true. They have not been beaten up by Black Jesus. That's fair. That's fair.
true.
They've been beaten up by regular Jesus. So I mean, maybe
Very. I think maybe Black Jesus will be a shock to the system.
maybe. You know what? Maybe that's what we were saying.
Let's give it a try.
You know, I'm willing. I am too. You know what? They've been beat up by regular Jesus. Let's try some Black Jesus. I don't know how your therapist approached it, but both of mine, it was very much when they introduced that concept of being kind to that voice in our head. Instead of judging it, instead of hearing that voice and going, oh, I shouldn't be feeling that way. I shouldn't be doing this like this. I am a bad person because of this. I need to fix the inner dialogue. I need to get rid of that voice. I need to get rid of whatever it is it's saying to me. Like, and for example, in this topic today, I have to have everything figured out, or I'm not whatever, or I have to have it figured out, and oh, that's what that voice is. Okay, well, I need to get rid of that I don't have to. And they're like, what if? Let's just try. The what if statement. She goes like,
Yes.
what if we tried just accepting that voice in your head?
Whoa! I don't know. Where are you going with that?
What if you just said, okay, and my therapist number one, the OG therapist. How about I just call her OG therapist, so that way it's
There
like,
you go.
she was like, what if you tried this? Instead of saying, I shouldn't be thinking that thought, what if I shouldn't feel like I have to have everything figured out? You just did the IFS, you talked to that part and said, I understand why you are doing this. I see you.
Mm-hmm.
And I appreciate you trying to protect me. But I think maybe that doesn't serve me anymore. So I think we should try something different.
What? Whoa! You
Being-
can do that? That's a
Being
thing?
kind to myself, like not being judgmental on myself, that's bitch. Nah,
That
bitch. Nah,
feels
nah, bitch.
weird. No. That no. Yeah, mine did the same thing. It was like, how do you feel about? And initially, there was a lot of that shame or that guilt or that anger. Why am I doing that? And it's I'm being angry at that part that's trying to protect me.
Mhm.
And it's protecting me because back when it came about, that's the only way I knew to survive, right? That's where the protector comes from. And so I'm the protector's trying to protect me, and I'm getting angry with it. How dare you try to protect me? That's all it knows to do is to protect me. Like that, because the more I get angry at it, the more it's gonna put up its walls and push back.
Mhm.
So that's why trying to beat up that part of me, probably not the best way to do it. It's recognizing that part, like you just said. It's recognizing that and saying, hey, we're gonna go a different direction, or we're gonna do something different. And it's like it's like I'm disarming that part of me.
You're validating that part of you.
Yes, you're validating it part. Mm-hmm.
That part of you that's going, okay, I understand that you are trying to protect, that this is what you needed to do to survive.
Yeah.
And it's not so, because it's that opposite. It's like when you're combating that part of you, that part of you's coming back with all the excuses of why they're right.
Yes.
Instead of going, because they are trying to protect you, they are trying to survive. So your brain is going, no, these are all the reasons why I'm right.
Mm-hmm.
But like when you're just like, okay, I don't have to have everything figured out, and that's okay. I know the anxiety that I'm feeling about this is because, I'm afraid of failure. I'm afraid of looking stupid. I'm fearful of whatever. But that is not where we are right now. And I don't have to have everything figured out. And that is okay. And I'm going to be safe and I'm going to deal with whatever happens because I cannot control the future and I cannot control other people. So even if I do have everything figured out down to the letter, I need to be flexible with that, which means even if I have it figured out, it's not going to go exactly how I have it planned. What? And
You're like,
that-
I'm not okay with that.
Yeah, and that's where my brain goes. Excuse me. That's you want to hear what my inner? Excuse me. Pardon, and I'm like,
I'm gonna give you a moment to take that back. Nope.
That's literally my brain goes. What did you just say?
Full stop.
It was. I almost hear Miko's voice in my head, like which is
Right? Yeah.
What did you just say? Do you want to? I'm gonna give you a moment to like repeat that.
Yeah. For anyone that doesn't know, when Miko leans in, that's yeah. There's a transition into Dr. Miko when she does
I'm
this.
gonna need you. But honestly, I mean,
Would you like to repeat that?
But I'm gonna, in full disclosure, like honestly, that we're talking about voices. There are times where Miko's voice is in my head, and not in that bad way, in that way of that friend that is supportive, like that friend that's reminding you, like that no bullshit, like I'm here to support you and I'm here to love you and care about you, and I need you to think about what you're doing. I'm not going to tell you what to do, but I'm like, when I hear, is that really what you want? Is that really what you want to do? Is that really what you like? Is it? And that's it. Is it? Is it? Think about that.
And that's
okay.
yeah.
You're right.
And that's an important part because when in my sessions when we talk about the parts, he says, "What does it sound like? What do they look like? What like?" That's a big part of it. Putting that voice.
Kelvin says, "Y'all need an inner Miko log." We do. It is, and it is, and like, and I think that is what I've come appreciate. Like, like about Miko. And my relationship with her, it's not like we're besties, but we're good enough friends that she's there, and it's one of those. It's not that she's telling me what to do, but it is that part of me that's going, I care about you and I want what's best for you, but I'm still gonna let you make your own choices. You're gonna decide whatever it is you want to do, and you're free to choose. But I want you to think about it, and as long as like that loving, no nonsense part. And I love that I have a friend in my life like that. Like, and she's just that, she's supportive.
Yes.
In a no nonsense way. And I love that there's a comfort in that. Like, because I never had that voice before. I never had a person like that before. And I think I really appreciate that is that you're free to do whatever you want, but I want you to think about it.
You're free to choose.
You are free to choose. I'm gonna love you either way. I'm gonna call you. I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna call you out on it. I'm gonna tell you the truth. I'm not gonna lie to you. And I think that's the other part of it is that she's never gonna lie to you, but she cares about you. And I think that she's a very caring person, and I love that. Like, I love that about her. So Miko, if you're watching this now or later, I love you and I appreciate you. And I still don't regret taking the money.
And you never will.
I never will. You know what? Survival.
Right. Oh my God.
Woo, I made it on the refrigerator.
Yeah.
So I that desperate need, and it's not just us. I think I also think that it does sort of stem from us, like thinking about it from our religious trauma. I'm like, when you had a plan, you had a plan, and whenever you You have to pray about it so you find out what God's plan is for you.
It was never about your plan.
Mm-mm.
What's God's plan?
And you have to make sure you're doing it right. And you had the
And
thing.
you're always questioning.
Mhm.
I was always constantly questioning, is this God's plan or is this my plan? Is this God's plan or is this my plan? I'm always worried about that. Is it God's plan? How do I know that it's God's plan? You're always like, you're trying to listen. You're like, or feel, how do I know this is God's plan? Is this really, or am I just being stubborn?
Right.
And you're constantly questioning your own ability or your own choices. My own choice. I always question my own choices.
Mhm.
Everything. And I'm not talking about the big stuff either. I'm talking about the little stuff too. You question almost everything about your life.
Mhm.
Is this what God wants?
Mhm.
Are you in God's will?
I think it's so much easier for us to think about the 5-year plan because we were constantly thinking about going to heaven. That we were made to think
Yeah.
about every choice because, okay, if we have a 5-year plan, and I think, correct me if I'm wrong, for corporate, they want to know where you're going. So if you
Yeah.
say, okay, this is my 5-year plan, I want to reach here in 5 years. So they know what kind of choices and work you're going to do to get to that 5-year goal. So in turn, we're thinking about heaven. We want to go to heaven. We want, when we die at the end of our hopefully very long life, we want to go here. So that is going to influence our choices and our actions, right?
Mhm.
So it was very
Mhm.
easy to not think where are you going in 5 years as being a very unhealthy thing to think about.
I think it's also easy for the people over you to manipulate you if you communicate, if you tell them this is where I want to be, this is my plan for 5 years, they can use that to move you in in the direction. Well, if this is where you want to be, then you have to do this and you have to do this and you have to do that. And the church can do the same thing.
Absolutely.
Well, if this is where you want to be, then you have to do this. And if you don't do this, then that must mean that you don't really want it.
And then you're afraid
Or
of
it's God's
making the
will.
wrong choice and being stupid
Yes, you're-
and being ashamed and all of those things that like seep into your just into your DNA almost, it feels
Mhm. Yeah.
like.
Whew.
I actually I have a friend of mine and he like they're figuring out, they're talking about, well, like at this age in my life, should I be doing this? I know I should be more mature. I should be doing these things. And I'm like, who says?
Yeah, exactly. Says who?
Who
says?
says? Who
Oh,
says you
yeah.
have to have it figured out? And you know what? But I think the reality is that we do have to be flexible because I know like my goals versus plans. And I talked about that in that video and the core part of it still carries through, even though my opinions, the detailed part of it and a lot of parts have changed over the past 4 years, 3 years. Is that, yes, you can absolutely work towards that and do that. You can do it. Yes, of course it takes planning. Of course some of that stuff takes planning and you need to get there. But you also have to be flexible about the things that might come into your life that might change that goal or maybe will like take that goal completely off the table. Would I love to like have had a job where I could travel the world all the time? I loved that before I had kids. I loved that. I love traveling. I have a job board that does take me, and I could literally travel for 3 months straight to all these different destinations, and it would be fun and it would be fantastic. But I also have kids, and I like once I had kids, my whole wanted to change. Priorities changed, and that's also a big thing. What is your priority in your life? Is your priority to be this? Is the priority to be that?
What does success look like for you.
And what does happiness look like? And happiness,
Yeah.
what makes you
Yes,
happy
that's
and what
actually-
brings you happiness is you're allowed to change that. You're allowed
Yes.
to change and evolve. What is it? Why are we so afraid of
Mhm.
changing the narratives? Why is everything, every choice we made, even when we're fucking healing, why is it so fucking important to go, I'm putting that, and that is a permanent thing. That is what's always going to make me happy.
Mm-hmm.
And why do we beat ourselves up when things fucking change? Why are we not flexible? Is it so fucking important for us to have shit figured out in stone?
Yeah.
I don't know. And to be honest, I'm asking that question, and this is a show where I'm asking that question and Pep's asking that question. We have no fucking clue. This is something we have no idea why we do it. And we'll probably revisit the subject and have a different point of view later, but
Yeah, a couple years from now, we'll do it again.
probably.
Yeah, we don't know. It's this drive that we gotta figure it out. We gotta have it. We gotta know exactly where we're going and how we're gonna get there. And if anything changes that, it's catastrophic.
Oh,
The idea of that changing is catastrophic. Not just like, okay, well that happened, so let me recalculate. Like for us, your GPS is like recalculating, and a couple seconds later it pops up and goes, okay, here's your new route. Like when our GPS, when we do that and we have to recalculate, we crash. We're done. We're like, no, sorry. Good luck to you.
full stop in the middle of the road. Nah.
Full stop.
Full stop.
Nah.
Nah.
We're done. Yeah. Like you just have to recalculate and figure out, okay, what is important? Reevaluate what is important for me right now. What does that look?
So proud of you. That was really smart. That was something that I even never thought about. I'm like, you know what? That's a good way of looking at it. Good job.
Progress.
You said
Yeah.
something. You said something that I'm like, you know what? You're right. That is a good way. Am I recalculating?
Mm-hmm. There you
I'm
go.
so proud
Look
of
at
you.
that.
Look at him. He's like, I got a gold star.
I did.
He did the golden
Rubes-
retriever.
Rubes
Like,
Gold stars.
you got the gold. Jay recalculating. Nah, bitch, I'm staying lost out here.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Can you? If I recalculate, my GPS doesn't come back right away, I am wrecked. I see, like seriously,
Yeah.
even literally, I'm talking about like I am. If my GPS doesn't recalculate, oh, I am just it's a nightmare. Some people are like, okay, well that's cool. I'm just gonna turn here, and then I'm gonna turn here, and like some people just easily Arugs. Some people just easily go, okay, well, I'm gonna turn here. I'm gonna turn here.
I
You know what?
mean-
Eventually, it's gonna finish recalculating, and then we're gonna
You're gonna find your way. You're gonna find your way eventually.
And until that point, I'm just gonna take these turns and figure out what happens. And if I end up in a different direction and then I have to come back, that's fine. It's not a big deal.
Or if I never get there at all, maybe like I recalculated and I
Yeah.
never end up.
You end up going somewhere else.
Mhm.
That's not me. I'm working on that. I shouldn't say that's not me. It's something that I am working on. You know what? It's recalculating, and so I'm just gonna turn here, or I'm just gonna go this direction. You know what? I like this direction. I'm just gonna go this direction, and it's okay to just do that.
Unless you end up on Queen Street in Charlotte. Nah, fam. Nah, fam. Even if I end up there, it's fine. Then you're lost forever. You obviously have never been to Houston, Texas. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. You take some turns and you're like, because it's so fast, you're like, am I in the right place? I'm in a neighborhood, but you end up on the other side of the neighborhood and you're like, oh, well, this was way shorter than the other way I was supposed to go. Like going the main road. That was way shorter going through this nice little shortcut.
The road less traveled.
I think there's so much importance, and it's not just us. And I think it just it pervades into a lot. And honestly, I think every person that I've known that has at some point in their life, I've had the conversation with, like, be it now or previous. It's one of those, we feel like we have to have it figured out. and we feel like we have to look a certain way. Our lives have to look, and that includes even when you're married. That includes
Yeah.
even when you're like you're single, like your like corporate life, our personal lives. We feel
Mhm.
like everything has to have a destination. We have to have it figured out, and yes, you should have priorities. You should have, valued goals that you do work towards. That you should. I'm not saying you shouldn't have goals, and you shouldn't want to go places, and you shouldn't want to grow, but it's the mindset that it's the fixed mindset. It's that fixed mindset
Yes.
that once you make that choice, that is all you focus on.
Yeah.
And that is all you're working towards. And you have to figure out how you're going to get there because that's it.
Mhm.
Which is basically the main premise of my plans versus goals. The fixed mindset versus a growth mindset.
Versus growth mindset.
You know what? I should just re-record that and do that. Look at
You
that.
should.
I should. There is that. But and as I am growing in my therapy, and like your priorities will change, your valued goals will change, everything will change, and it's that fixed mindset that we're stuck in. That fixed mindset of once we make a choice, we're not allowed to change that choice. You may have this choice that you want to go travel the world and you want to whatever, you want to whatever. And somebody may come into your life. You may meet someone randomly. Or somebody may come back into your life. You don't like either way. And you fall in love. And then all of a sudden your priorities change.
Yeah.
And then you have that conflict of if you're in that fixed mindset, and not even if you're in a flexible mindset, what is my priorities?
Yeah.
Are they
Or
willing?
judging yourself?
Right. I'm
Or-
in love with this person, but is this person willing to follow my dreams? And is that fair to them? What are their dreams? And can we meet in the middle? Can we grow together? Like or do I have to sort of change? Like, is there a way I can still have my goal, but not necessarily the way I thought I would need to have it?
Yeah. That's the big one is it's not just that we have the goal, it's that we tend to be very finite in what that goal looks like.
Mhm.
This goal means I am going to have this, 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 and this.
Mhm.
And it's possible to achieve that goal without every single one of those checkboxes being there.
And there are check boxes that prevent themselves. Like, and I'm using the whole meeting somebody because that's the most instantaneous one. Like you meet somebody, and that's the one I find a lot of my friends are conflicted with is they either feel like they either have to have a relationship and change everything about who they are so that they can be with this person, or they have to choose their goal and whatever they're working toward and not be with this person. And
It's an
just
or.
it's an or.
Uh-huh.
Now, that other person is their own other person and they have their life goals. And if they're not willing to work like you, it is also like any other relationship, it's a collective. And maybe it won't work out. But it's one of those shutting yourself off, is having those blinders. Like you don't see anything else and nothing else matters except for what's in front of you. And you have to take that off and you have to see the big picture, I think. And that's where the flexibility comes in. Because if you have it figured out and that's the road we're going and that's what I'm doing and I am and it's got to look a certain way so I can be this person, and who says? And why can't we be different people? Because I tell you this, this is not the person I thought I would be at my age. When I was in my 20s, this is not what I saw. And I'm not mad at it. I don't hate it. And I'm actually very glad I'm not that person.
Can you imagine what your life would be like if you got everything that you wanted? If your plan had worked out the way that you originally you said it,
Absolutely.
what would your life be like right now?
I can tell you exactly what my life would look like. Okay.
Mhm.
I would be a band director. in North Carolina, of course, and you know those hours, and you know those things.
Oh yeah.
And
I was married once, so yeah, I
yeah,
do.
you know those hours
Uh-huh.
and the
Yep.
stress as things. I don't know if I would have kids, or I mean, I might have gotten married, but I don't know. I think I would be very exhausted, and then I would probably have, because I had kids. Depending on, I think that my life would look incredibly different, and
Mhm.
I would still be in Charlotte, which, or you know, but
Maybe not.
maybe.
Hmm.
But had I gotten everything that I had planned to, I still feel like I would still be going to bed at night wondering, is this really what I want?
Yeah.
Is this who I am? I think that if and I don't know, but I was never forced in that point in my life. If I'd gotten everything I was in, I don't know if I would have gotten healed. I think that I would have not had, I would have never gone on drum corps tour, because that was the summer it was the summer after. It was like, I would have never gone on drum corps tour,
Mhm.
which means I would have never met half the friends that I met. I would have never done Carolina Crown. I would have never done any of those things. So my life would look very different. I would have never allowed myself that. I wouldn't be here. Which is why I hate, like, if you could go back and change one thing about yourself, like if you could go back and change it, and I'm like, what the fuck? Nothing. I would go
You
back and change nothing, good or bad.
Yeah. You had one of I asked you that question at one point years ago, and your answer had always stuck with me. It's, well, I like my life now. I like who I am now. I am who I am now. So why would I go back and change something? Because if I go back and change something, then who knows what I would end up looking like. What life would be like. You assume that life would be better, but I don't know. It's like the butterfly effect. He goes back to try to fix something and ends up making things much worse. We don't know.
Continue.
No, I was just saying, yeah, we don't know. So that your answer just kind of always stuck with me. It's like, you make the best choices that you can with where you're at.
That question is very much a fixed mindset. And I'm going to,
Mm-hmm.
for all my point of view, again, all of this, everything said in the show is an opinion, editorial only. Now that I have done some work and changed my mindset, in that question, if you could go back and change one thing about your life, what would you change? That question is assuming that anything that I struggled through, and that everything that was uncomfortable, or anything that had hurt me or made me sad or angry, was bad for me. Yes, it may have traumatized me, but
Mm-hmm.
if you are truly looking back in a very open, fixed mindset of things aren't good or bad, they are just what they are, whether they are comfortable or uncomfortable. And yes, some events are very tragic and traumatizing. I am not discrediting that, because I have gone through some very tragic and traumatizing experiences in my life, way more than I like to admit. But those tragic, traumatizing moments also were formidable moments that I learned to grow from. So looking back and going, well, wouldn't you change this bad thing that happened to you? Yes, it was a traumatizing thing that happened to me. And yes, I had to work through the results of that. But in working through the results of that and healing from that traumatizing moment, I learned to be stronger. I learned to be smarter. I learned to whatever. I learned a lot of things from that.
Yeah.
So that's that whole something good comes from something bad.
Mm-hmm.
But things aren't good or bad. They are just what they are. They are comfortable, uncomfortable. They are. So why would I go back and change that? I have to hurt to get stronger. I have to struggle to learn what I'm made of. I have to be sad to appreciate joy. It is that whole balance of the universe, if you're looking at it like that. I have to be jealous so that I can be grateful. And that's like jealousy is bad. Being jealous is bad. Yes, being jealous and being sad and being mad, all those things, if you take it in an unhealthy manner and view it as unhealthy, yeah, it's going to come out in a disastrous result. But if you go, I am jealous or envious, which means I need to learn to appreciate what I have and treat the thing or person with appreciation and be grateful for it. Well, I don't want to fall in love because I'm just going to get hurt. Well, if you get hurt, then you learn, okay, what worked, what didn't work. So you learn to be a better partner.
You learn what's important to you.
Mm-hmm. You learn your priorities.
What your priorities are, what your values are. Mm-hmm.
So many times we have that mindset of this bad thing happened to me, and if this thing didn't happen to me, things would be different. You're right. Things would be different. And,
They would be different.
But would they be better?
Yeah.
And you don't know that. So looking back and going, I would change this. Well, you can't go back and change that. But you can just handle now.
Mm-hmm.
And in turn, we're over here in like your future self and your future and all these things. And you can concentrate on that. But then you're not dealing with the now. So if you're not dealing with the now and being present, yeah, y'all are benefiting, right? Y'all are being benefited from my therapy this week. If you're not being present and mindful in the now and taking that time to go, okay, this is where I'm at now. And yes, I know that goal is out there, but I'm not going to solely concentrate on that. Because that could look different. You might never get there if you're constantly looking at that. Deal in the present and be in the present. And understand that your present and that your future may look different. And that's okay. Because we can't control or manipulate the future. Because our future is a big question mark. And that's what causes a lot of people anxiety, especially people like Pep.
Yes. Oh yeah. It's living in the future. That's
having the destination.
Problem.
You have to have the destination. Yeah. You don't think about driving the car to get to that destination. Well, going back to your GPS metaphor, you're not concentrating on, okay, I am driving this car and I am going straight. I'm going straight. Now I need to make this right turn. You're just driving. Driving. And I just know I need to end up there. Okay.
I'm worried about the traffic that might be up ahead. I'm worried about what the parking situation might look like. I'm worried about all these things that are unknown instead of paying attention to what I'm doing right now.
Parking with Pep. Let me tell you, parking with Pep. Nothing dry. Oh. There have been several times where we're in this crowded parking lot and Sean is over there and he is stressing out about finding a parking space. I literally have gone, get out of the car. And he has stopped the car in the parking lot. And I have turned and I have driven and I was like, parking space here. Now that's where we're at.
but.
I'm like, no, we're parking here. You have a fucking Hyundai sedan. It's not like you're having to find a space.
I can put it anywhere.
Like I can literally park it in like the little
compact space.
The little cart thing. I could probably park it in between there.
Probably. Parking with Pep. Should be a series.
Where's your head at right now?
staying in the moment, living in the present instead of always instead of living in trying to plan for live in the future.
Do you know how I know when you're trying to find the right things to say so you don't say the wrong things?
How?
You stutter a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
You don't stutter when you're just talking.
Yeah, that's accurate. It's what I'm trying to find the right words to say.
Who says the right words?
I do.
Why?
Because they're the words to concisely explain what I'm trying to say.
Well, who says it has to be concise?
Because words matter.
Words do matter. Why are you so uncomfortable right now?
Because you get the spotlight. I feel like you get this.
Funny thing is, though, is I talked a lot about me,
Mm-hmm.
and yet you feel like the spotlight's on you?
Yeah, well, because you just asked me. Like, where's your head at? Pepe, need more. Need more. Yes, I do need more RAM.
Oh, don't even start with me about RAM. God damn it.
Uh-huh. Do you need someone to stick more RAM in your slot? Sorry, is now not the time?
Why are you this human? Oh, wait. Trauma.
I mean, exactly. We just spent an hour talking about it.
Hey,
Crowbar.
Sean.
Mm-hmm.
Sean.
Yes, it works.
It's okay that we didn't have a topic. And you don't have to have the right thing to say. And we still love you and care about you. I wish I could give you a hug. You're okay. I'm just trying to reassure you because I see like you've gotten more tense as we've talked about it, which means you've probably gotten in your head about it because this is a topic that you're still working on.
Yes.
And so
yes, it is.
you don't have everything, you don't have all the answers and you don't have it figured out and you feel more relaxed when it's something that you have figured out.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So you feel like, oh, I need to have the answers. No, this is a topic that neither one of us have figured out, honey. I don't have it figured out. I don't. I'm still working on it. And so this is a show where we're not talking, we're not giving advice. We're just talking about us.
Mm-hmm.
And talking about us is okay. You're allowed to take up space, and you're allowed to take up space and not be perfect.
What? We're gonna need some advertisements here.
You're still loved and cared for, and you're valued. Just because you don't have the answers and you're not here giving wise, sage advice.
Okay.
Tell the voice in your head to shut the fuck up. Because I know that look on your face, that's exactly what it said. You're very like, okay.
As I hear the words that you're saying.
I don't believe it for fuck all. That's why I said, tell that voice to shut the fuck up.
Mm-hmm.
Shut up.
We ain't doing this now.
Mm-mm. I appreciate that. But I am actually praising you and giving you validation. And yet you still, even though that's the thing that you need.
There's a part of me that's going, nope, it's not real. Calvina's hugging me in Black Jesus.
I can make some distasteful jokes right now, but I'm not going to.
I'm sure you could.
Because that might get us canceled. No, the thoughts that went through my head might get us canceled. So you know what? This is a censorship that is for the safety of everyone.
Ma'am. You gotta. Aw.
But I'm just telling you, like, you remember, you did give some really good advice from a good place. And you are loved and you are cared for. And you don't have to have it all figured out, even our shows. You don't have to have the right thing to say. Now, try something for me. Right?
Okay.
This is what my therapist
Yep.
did. Relax your
Yep.
shoulders. Just relax them. No, relax them. Completely relax them. Do you feel that? Because your shoulders are like up here.
Yeah.
Just relax your shoulders. There you go. You are loved and you are cared for and you are safe. This is a safe space. This is a safe space for our community, and this is a safe space for both of us. Remember that. And I think in the new year, I think both of us need to be reminded of that this is a safe space for everyone, including us. That we don't have to try to put on a face. And we don't have to try any of those things. That we're allowed to be flawed. And we're allowed to just talk about our flaws, and that we're not over here giving advice on how to fix it. We can have shows where we just talk about what we're still trying to work through, and that's okay. And I am all saying this online so that our community members hear that too. But I want to remind you, Sean, that that's okay. It's okay to just talk about our flaws and not feel like we have to have some grand, big plan of how we're going to fix it.
5-point lesson plan.
5-point lesson plan. We can just talk about what we're working on, and it just be what we're working on. And we are still loved and cared for by our community and by each other. There you are. You're back.
Hi.
Thanks. Hi. Welcome back.
Thanks. You took had a moment.
It's okay to have a moment. There you are. Ah, there we are. I'm so glad we can end with you being present with us. And with that. Okay, so today, I don't know. I might game later. My kids aren't here with me. And I know that you and I are going to work on some stuff, revamping some stuff. But I do want to game today, but I don't know if I want to do 76. I sort of do because I have, but I really.
Some GTA.
I know. Oh, now Sean's addicted to GTA. See, CJ, we created a monster. I knew he would. He's gonna level up, but he's gonna be in GTA all the time now. It's the ADD in him. He can't help it. But I don't know. But I am gaming later. Also, while I'm here, and so that I could probably clip this for later. So. There are going to be some changes to the Nerd Mom Ace schedule. There's some changes just across the board that we are planning on for the BSBN scheduling. Gaming will still be on Tuesdays and Thursdays and Sundays. That will still be a thing, but there are going to be some changes to a lot of us are changing our scheduling. Just due to a lot of life changes that we set up this schedule like a long time ago, but again, life happens and we need to learn to adjust with that. So I am not going to be streaming anymore on Mondays. That is a personal choice for me. I am not streaming anymore on Mondays. I have, with this whole where my life is now, I it's too much. I still will be streaming with the WDI on Wednesdays, but all of my content is moving to a weekend format. So I will be doing Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, and I'm adjusting to that of when exactly those are. But yeah, so in the middle, we'll be moving to the weekend, Friday or Saturday. I will still be waking up here on this, on the same schedule. 76 Sundays, I still will be doing some type of gaming on a Sunday afternoon, evening schedule. I might add something to the weekend. I've been tossing around an idea or two to add another show for the weekend, but I am going to be moving my schedule to where I am not burning myself out. And that is something that is important to me, and setting that boundary, and that's okay. So I will not be streaming anymore on Mondays. There will be no more Monday shows for me. And I will still be the host of WDI, but my content is moving to weekend in the middle, now at the end. Well, if you work on the weekends, is it the weekend? Is it? I'm just saying. In the being wherever you are. So who's to say it's the end when it's somebody's middle?
Wow. Profound.
I know. But yeah, so I will be moving in the middle to the weekend, and I will be moving most of my content to the weekend. I would like to also just free up my weekdays to just be able to be a better parent and be a better employee and just be a better person. I think I now need to allow myself that time, and I am okay with that. So just to let my community know that is where I am no longer no D101 on Mondays, no in the middle on Mondays. I am not streaming on Monday anymore. So I'm just I had to make choices, and I am not sad about that because I am burning the candle at both ends, and I will feed you in a minute. You'll be fine. Hooker. Hey.
When does Mouse get her own show?
I want
Mom,
my
don't forget
end
me.
in someone's end. Middle. Hold on. Mom. Excuse me, lady.
Hello.
Hello.
Lady.
Hello? Hey. Love you. Now feed me. So yes, that is coming up. I am moving. No more Mondays for me. WDI on Wednesdays. I will be moving my content. Gaming and stuff. Well, BSBN gaming will still be on Tuesdays and Thursdays. That is a BS. But for Nerd Mom Ace, I am moving all my stuff to the weekends. So I will, in the middle, will be on the weekend. Sundays will still be the same, but I'm also thinking about picking up another show, and doing another show.
That's exciting.
Yeah, I know.
Nice.
So it's got some things in the works, but that will all be on weekend content. So because I need to be.
Change can be good.
Change is good. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah. Let's try it. Let's try and see what happens.
Do it. Let's do it. Absolutely.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us for Waking Up. Pep, do you have anything you would like to say before we go?
What are we doing tonight? No. Sorry.
Nice deflection on trying to not feel uncomfortable.
I know. Where you're going and when you get there and how you get there is all up to you. And it's okay to change. It's okay for things to change along the way. And for you to take a different route than you originally planned. Leave yourself room for that. There you go. That's what I got. Mouse, do you have any final words? Feed me. Feed me.
Watch her try and bite my forehead.
Probably. Oh, there it goes. Oh. She is headbutting you.
All right, everyone. So we will be gaming later. Maybe 76, maybe not. We don't know. I think I'm just gonna keep it called 76 Sundays, just because you might as well.
Yeah.
I guess I should change it to something more generic, but whatever. Why?
Why does it matter?
Kevin says, "Oh, that was sweet, Pep."
Oh, thanks, Kevina.
I wish I could give you a hug so you would relax. Huggies.
And wait, and not the tap. No, not the tap. Hug tap.
What's up, bro?
Tuck it in. Tuck it in. Get in there. Tuck it in.
Oh, my dad hugs.
Yeah. That's right. The
My
harder
dad
you slide, it's a bro hug.
My dad is an aggressive hugger. Papa Roogs is an aggressive hugger, and it doesn't matter if you are a stranger or he's known you for a million years. He is a full hugger. Like, he is not one of those, going in for a jet. No, full on hugger.
Bring it in here.
Bring it in.
Right.
He's going to make sure you know he loves you. And I love that about him. That makes me so happy.
I hadn't seen Papa Roogs in like 20 years, and then I see him again, and it's like no time has passed. You're dead. Papa Roogs is awesome.
But to be honest, I'm the same way though.
That's where you get it from.
I
You're
know.
not so much an aggressive hugger, but you
I don't like. It could be 10 years. It could be 10 minutes.
yeah.
Hey, how are you? Like same full on Distaho energy.
And we love that about you.
All right, we're going. We're gonna go. All right.
It's a southern goodbye.
It is a southern goodbye. Bye.